Hey, how's it going, guys? It's been a while since I made that first video. I'm gonna put it up together anyways. Just gonna start us off and we'll see how it goes. Alright. Haven't actually used my guns yet. Okay, so that's how I swapped that. That's good to know. Okay, let's make him redo this. But it keeps track that I've already opened these. Interesting.
It's fast! Murdering bastard!
Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to relearn the skills.
Christ! He's dead!
Okay, so I get experience when I pick up the stuff they drop? Or was it just taking a moment there? Nothing like a little bit of rat burger. And if you don't know what that is, you can watch an old movie called Demolition Man. It's actually kind of funny. It's one of the old Sylvester Stallone movies.
Fresh blood.
Anything around
The
here for me
whole
to pick up
building
before I go?
reeks of it. The scent.
Moment to load.
Place reeks of bloodshed.
That was weird.
Please stop! Just a sip, I promise. You are my dearest friend. You're my last and dearest friend.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Oh, fuck. You were the vampire.
William, please, stop.
Check on you in a moment. Do I have a way up there?
Let me go.
Alright, alright, I won't let the guy die.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. You'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal.
I wonder how vampires
They'll have
are
a
made
bed
in
for
this
poor
game.
Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
I have a fin.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Questions posed right when the sun's starting to come up so that you can't say no without dying.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
It's locked, all right.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
You just murdered somebody.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Oh, yes, I will. I just want to get more experience from him.
What happened? Whoa, I feel giddy. Did I black out?
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Yeah, I know, gotcha. I tend to eat him. He is a murdering bastard after all, but...
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tibbets. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Corcoran. Okay. So, what I understand, the more hints I unlock, the higher the blood quality. The fact that this guy has so many hints tells me he's pretty well known and he'd give a lot of experience. But if he's exhausting himself, I'm guessing he's got some sort of health issues. No relationships, a bunch of hints.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, you do.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
What's with the echo?
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Okay, so he's respected.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Alright.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped from the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet
Apologies,
when I
guys.
was
I've been
running.
feeling pretty
You
sick
left
the last few
an
days.
infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want. But be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Hey, new investigation. There we go. What has
I'd
he
like
got?
to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Alright. Oh wait, was there anybody back here that I can
Perhaps
talk
I
to?
should have considered the offer from that Callaghan.
Damn, that seems like a place where a collectible should be hidden. Hey, there's Dr. Corcoran. We heard about him.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tibbets, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tibbets, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
You're exhausting yourself.
Just gonna
No.
skip this because I
must
did
keep
actually
nothing to-
I am
already go through it.
perfect.
Okay, so I can't use the other ways.
What can
Good
you
to
tell
know.
me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
This guy seems like a good guy.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skill.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Okay.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
And now for the last person.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good
Oh,
evening,
nope,
Doctor.
I've already talked to her.
Why does Dr. Tibbets claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tibbets does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Why are you side-eyeing me instead of just looking at me? I don't like it.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Alright, time to go find my office. After I raid this.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Okay, the dude said something about second floor. So, this floor right here. In the back here. Nope, not that way. I love that I can see people through the floor. That's actually really cool. Oh, hell yeah. Hacksaw as a weapon? Sounds great.
It's locked.
Ah, that's Dr. Tibbets, Dr. Strickland, and Dr. Aykroyd. Okay, so 2 people I haven't met yet. So those 3 get their own office, and I get my own. That's probably gonna cause
This must
issues.
be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Looks like sunlight could come through though. Hopefully it doesn't hit just right, because that could cause some issues. What's this do? Okay, yeah, it's the sword I was talking about earlier. This ancient sword, with a Latin phrase engraved on the blade, had been forged in Wales during the 6th century and belonged to Paulus Aurelianus, founder of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole. Legend says he had this blade forged before he chose the path of exile and left England with his people. Dragonbane has been passed to each new primate of the Brotherhood and may have been used in secret ceremonies. When a primate was sent on a path of war to defeat a hostile creature, the sacred sword was supposedly lost during the schism between the Brotherhood and the Guard of Priwan. Or Priwan. Yeah, fuck it. In the middle of the 19th century. It seems a few copies may have been made, but this is the true and original Dragonbane. Okay, so Swansea would want this from me. Okay. So that's how leveling works. I can choose one of these 2, and then it comes down here. That's... the blood absorption's really cool. So damage or blood? Stamina or blood? Damage or stamina? Damage or stamina. Okay, so these are the 2 that offer blood. So I could go blood and then stamina stuff, which would give me blood and the ability to hit multiple times. But I'm thinking I might go blood and damage since I'm already upgrading my character stamina. I think that'll be the way I go with it. Jesus, I got a shotgun too, huh? I'll start pausing the videos here when they're loading so you don't have to watch the loading screen, guys. That was almost not worth doing. It loaded up right after I paused it. I have a bowler hat now. Yeah, no, we're gonna go through another loading screen because I'm not wearing this. I feel retarded. Much better. Dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the 2nd floor. Please forgive the austere decoration, but Pembroke Hospital is not exactly the Ritz. Sorry to let you discover your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I'm just a mere mortal, after all. I also gave orders to let you rest and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you'll be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You'll also notice there is an open window with scaffolding that will allow you to enter or exit the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awfully new and disturbing this all must be for you. Believe me, I have studied enough of your species to understand what you must now be facing and feeling. Be assured, I'll do whatever I can to help you in this ordeal. Know that you're not completely alone facing it. I'm glad I met you these dark times we are all presently facing. I hope our future collaboration will yield great results. Welcome to Pembroke, my esteemed colleague. We shall talk soon. Yours sincerely, Edgar Griffith Swansea. P.S. I left a copy of some of my notes concerning what I have discovered about Eken in the last few years. Feel free to read about it if you want some guide, or if you need some guidance, as long as you don't use this knowledge to take advantage of me. Okay, so he left some notes on Eken. The fuck are Eken? I mean, he seems obsessed with vampires, so maybe that's what they called him in this, but he's called us Vampire. Well, I can upgrade it, so I'm going to. I think I'm gonna go with the blood absorption.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Okay, so I'm to sleep. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Can't do anything with that. Can't do anything with that. I'm gonna go with the stun rather than the shield. It just seems more useful. Fuck, some of this stuff's expensive though. Seconds of control, so longer stun. And this gives me blood. So blood gain's not necessarily going to be difficult. Abyss sounds cool, honestly. I fucked up. I should have gotten spring. Or could I? I thought that was locked. I don't know. I'm just gonna exit out now. If I killed Clay, I'd have enough to get Spring. But I'd have to kill off
If I'm to
somebody, and
stay
I've heard
here
that affects
until
the
my
story.
research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. What about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Alright then.
It's locked, all right.
That's right, B's how I sprint. This should be the back of the hospital. Excuse me.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Okay. So since I collected that crap from William, it seems I'll be getting that from the skulls. Well, that's Milton's wallet. So I seem to have stumbled into that investigation. There we go. Can I open this door? Nope. What about this one? Alright. I'll go this way since this is the way my quest is telling me to go. I'll bring the wallet back to Milton later. Wait, did I just run through something and break it? Holy shit! Damn, dude. Alright. I am no joke when I start running. Fuck. Yeah, fuck these benches. Public nuisance. Fuck being a doctor. So that's obviously the way I'm supposed to go, but I don't see anything I can grab. That looks like a trash can. They seem to be something I can loot, excuse me. Go ahead and do that while I was at it. Make sure I did turn the recording back on. Okay, I did. You know, I'm pretty sure I said this in the last video, but I really, really hope that not vampires, but werewolves are a thing in this. It just seems like it could be so much fun. And that whole thing with the sewer dog makes me think there might be at least one, and I hope there's a lot. There's gotta be something in this room, right? I'm not just... Yep. Okay. Sorry, guys. And I already checked this room, but I don't think I grabbed anything. Oh shit, I didn't want to go out there. Fuck. Damn it, go back in. So I was originally planning on skipping all the loading screens, but it takes just as long for me to stop the recording and start it back as it does for the thing to load up, so. This place is creepy as fuck. Shit, dude. How is there nothing to loot in here?
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove it useful. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
So going back to that Balls of Mars comment, I kind of chuckled a little bit to myself on that, just because I'm a huge mythology nerd, I'll admit it. And Balls of Mars, for some reason, my mind immediately went Mars, Roman god of war, and I kind of sort of geeked out. Shit, dude.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Cool. I'm gonna go up first. Okay. So I guess now I'm going to the basement. Where did he come from, though?
It's locked, all right.
That door's locked. That door's unopenable. Where did he just go? Where the fuck did he just go? I will hand it to him. They did a fan-fucking-tastic job of creating a creepy atmosphere in this game. Because I'll admit, I am creeped the fuck out right now. Shit. And I can't equip it right now. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, can't equip it right now because I'm in the middle of a fight.
From corpses and the husks of beasts. They're not after blood.
Dude, attempting to stun him's costing me more health than anything. Alright, now to put the gun where it's supposed to be. Okay. That was odd, but okay, whatever. Is there really nothing for me to find here? Alright. wonder if shooting him will lure the other. There is something seriously satisfying about shooting them with the gun. Alright, so that vampire down there is deaf. Good to know. Well, that's not creepy at all.
It's locked.
Really?
It's locked, all right.
Can't bash it open. Okay, so that's Milton's girlfriend. The fact that these are connected and those two are trying to figure out who killed this person.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look.
I can upgrade this multiple times. Okay.
Look into this. It's locked.
Shit. I should have just stunned you. But oh well. It's not like you were a hard fight. Alright, fuck it. We'll go. We'll keep going. John Doe, huh? Fuck you, Mr. Doe.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
He's not wrong on that. It is actually very tempting. Especially seeing as how I just saw him creating some fucking shadow to fight me. That was pretty badass. Alright, fine. Alright. So I need 3 common handle parts. Five stun damage. Okay, so upgrading it is just a straight damage increase. And then these are the extra effects. So with my sword here, it's gonna get a damage increase regardless. Which means damage dealt's not that important. An extra 20% would be nice, but it's not needed. The extra blood absorption could be useful, because then I don't have to worry about stunning them. Decrease stamina consumption by 10%. Stamina consumption, I wasn't too worried about it, but I'm starting to get worried about it, because I do a lot of dodging, which uses a lot of my stamina. Did I miss something? Did I collect the last ingredient without realizing it or something? I guess so. Make sure I didn't miss anything in this room.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tibbets' anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tibbet has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
So Tibbets made a mistake causing the death, but he tried to fix it. Well, hello there. This kind of reminds me of Bloodborne. Not so much Dark Souls, but Bloodborne. Okay, so you're there, but I'm gonna go up. I want to see if I can access the roof now. Can I? Nope.
I cannot enter.
I get the feeling I'm going to be coming back to this place later, just for the amount of parts of it that I can't enter yet. tell you what I'm gonna do, guys. This campaign right here is going to be my Don't Eat Anybody campaign. I'm going to start later today. I'm gonna start a secondary campaign. In that campaign, I'm gonna eat everybody. I will eat everybody. I might not eat them immediately because I'm gonna unlock a bunch of hints for them so I get the maximized amount of XP. But I'm going to eat the shit out of people in that one. Like, that's gonna be my whole purpose. Just eat them. And we're gonna see how this goes. That did not hit me. Is there anybody else over here for me to kill? Because this is my Don't Eat Anybody campaign. I kind of want to kill as many skulls as I can. Already read that.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Uh-huh.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
So I should turn her into one.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Damn, dude, she's so crazy. If I met her in real life, I'd probably date her. Sadly, that's kind of how my
Good evening,
relationships go.
sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Oh, I mean, I love eating you in my other campaign.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Yeah. You're dead in the other campaign. I'm just probably gonna eat you before I even get all the fucking experience off of you. You're an ass.
Yes, Doctor?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
I already looted the morgue.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you. Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
He seems to be talking a little better.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful.
So painful.
I'll let you get some rest then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Okay, so he's got fatigue.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will write you down, my boy.
Okay, so I need to go upstairs then. Doctors run through hospitals all the time. There's nothing odd to look at here. It is a rare opportunity and almost a privilege to approach a vampire, to observe their most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've personally observed over the last 10 years while interviewing a few vampires, or Eken, as they prefer to call themselves. Okay, so I was right earlier. Supernatural speed. A vampire can act and move like a mortal in all of his actions, but the trained eye will spot that they have the keenest senses and can react quicker than any mortal. On a few occasions, alarm, surprise, necessity to flee. I have seen a vampire move so quickly it is almost as if he had just vanished to reappear somewhere else. The human eye cannot follow their movements when they act so quickly, but it is not a teleport or dematerialization, it is only a supernatural speed. For me, it is a cat-like attribute, which allows them to run, dodge, or jump longer and faster than any of us. I also noticed that such speed seems to exhaust them, and that they are bound to physical limitations. Mesmerism. One of the most powerful abilities a vampire can deploy is the capacity to force a mortal to obey them. I call this trait mesmerism, but it has nothing to do with the mortal ability to alter the subject's mental state. A vampire can bend a mortal to their will, and they can even break a mind. A vampire I interviewed even told me that the more a subject tries to resist, the more permanent the damage will be. As if the vampire could literally fracture their target's psyche. The same vampire explained to me that this ability required time to master, and that the result could vary widely from one subject to another. Implant a false memory, erase a painful one. The possibilities are endless and frightening. Blood awareness. This may be the most catastrophic ability of all concerning vampires, since it is the cause of so many tragedies for them and us. Vampires crave for blood. They must use their will to restrain themselves from frenzied drinking every drop of blood they can see. Excuse me. They need blood to function, and to express their full supernatural traits. A famished vampire can be very weak, even if he cannot die of hunger or thirst. This urge, this need for blood, may explain why a vampire is so aroused by it. A vampire confessed to me that blood could sometimes blind him, since its smell and attractiveness can be so strong. When he focuses, a vampire can almost see blood all around them, inside warm bodies, through walls, on a supposedly clean weapon, etc. Excuse me. The same vampire even told me that he can see if a mortal has clean blood or is ill, and that in some cases he can even sense diseases. Fuck. Infected clothes, or even items in a room. If this is true, it could have so many medical applications, it almost beggars itself. What the hell just happened there? Beggars belief. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The more I talk, the drier my throat gets, and that's causing me to cough some more. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you.
It's no problem, Mr. Kent.
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Alright, so I got one that doesn't like me and one that's a great admirer.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
Okay, those two are fighting over how to help him, and he's been...
You may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Okay, so he cares for his patients.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Waste your time with me.
He's recovering.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
What a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible
His wife died during the war.
for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
Alright, I'm
I'll
gonna
see you
bring
later.
Milton his wallet.
Reads me like...
It's gonna be hard to kill that guy in my Kill Everyone
Thelma
campaign
Howcroft
just because
said
there's
she
kids.
was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay, so Milton helped him out.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Okay, so he's the guy that sells the shit to make the potions to help people. Or not potions, but medicines. Yeah, I just robbed the dead. I'm not a good person.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold.
It's locked, all right.
I understand you must be very angry about this.
It's locked, all right.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Motherfucker, how many people are there? Jesus.
It's locked. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
I don't want to talk to her right now.
Miss Hawkins.
I'm gonna go bring fucking Milton his wallet, go talk to Edgar, and that'll probably be where I stop this episode for the day.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can.
I've never seen so many people dying at the same time.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
I agree with that. Alright.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Nah, going for the gun. How much money have I got? Is it 126? I like that he sells that. Excuse me. I need common handle parts, and then I'll need aluminum shards. Now let's go talk to Dr. Swansea, shall we? Just getting my cardio in, nothing to be looked at. I'm not getting distracted. After I talk to Dr. Swansea, I'll head downstairs and rest up and go ahead and level. That'll be where I end it.
It's locked, all right.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Oh, that's the perfect way to meet you again.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body. Biology's penultimate frontier.
Should we leave you two
alone? The more we
alone?
explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
You got some issues, bud.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
I don't know why, but I feel like this is gonna be the other vampire. The one that saved us down in the sewers. Although I'm pretty sure we would have won that fight. I just feel like she's gonna be it. Can I not steal anything from you? Oh, hello. What's that? Okay. I'd read this out, guys, but honestly, I don't feel like coughing again. Okay, so that answers one of my questions from earlier. Right about near the top of the page, it talks about a type of vampire called a Volkid, which is a lupine type. So it's not quite a werewolf, but it's apparently werewolf-like. Okay, so this seems to give some hints as to what we're gonna see. Like, it's talking about a lupine type of vampire, so that tells me we're probably gonna see it. Names a couple of other types that I don't know off the top of my head. And then it talks down here about a restless vampire hunter who feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed amongst the mortals and immortals. I get the feeling we're gonna fight him later. Like, I don't know why, I just feel like he's gonna be an issue for us down the road. But for now, let's go evolve. That still sounds really cool. Alright, I can't get the ultimate stuff yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and get Spring here. Wait, what? There we go. Okay, so it can stun and damage, or it can just do a lot of damage. Gotta be level 10 for that, so just ignore that for now. Increase my health, but that's not really been an issue so far. What is which one using? By increase the number of bullets I can carry. That sounds pretty good, actually. I don't know. I might not go with bullets late game. Ugh, the choices. The choices. I can't level up you yet, which I could level you for more control. What about my autophagy? Can I level it? It's only extra 50 healing. So many choices, man. Alright, let's get more bullets. There. I'm gonna confirm here. I don't want to use too much of my experience because I want to be able to get the ultimates once I reach level 10. Although I don't level unless I spend this crap anyways. So yeah. I'm gonna up my blood capacity. That doubles the damage of it, which could make bite really good eventually. There. You're healthy. I haven't met you yet. You're one of the guys downstairs. Then we got these two. So Nurse Crane is the pillar of one community. Swansea's the pillar of this one. And Hampton's the pillar of that one. So there's only one pillar we haven't met yet. Oh, this is that drunk dude, right? Yeah. I don't know how Tom's not a pillar of a community, honestly. Having the only safe place after dark, but okay. So there's only 4 communities. Alright. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna pick up some shells, and this will be where I end it for the night. I'll catch you guys later. Alright, come on now. There we go.